This video is brought to you by Penna Educational Centre, catering to evening CSEC classes and chess classes. Call 876-337-7374 or 876-775-6692. We got you covered preparing for exams. Andy Gone Nuts. 100% guaranteed fresh coconut water delivered straight to your door. Call 876-309-6128. That's 876-309-6128. Refreshing and affordable. For more information, follow them on Instagram at Andy Gone Nuts. Truly refreshing. And Crumble by Mrs. C. Old English fudge and other delectable sweet treats. Call or WhatsApp 876-586-0471. That's 876-586-0471. This video is also brought to you by BLC Jamaica Security Electronics, specializing in alarm system, video surveillance, camera system or CCTV, barrier system, gate automation, and access control. Call 876-320-7711. That's 876-320-7711 or 876-351-1105. That's 876-351-1105. So, depending on who you ask, Jamaica has either had 11 international managers, 10, or even 9. But why is that the case? Well, many people will have differing views. John Barnes was born in Jamaica, but he represented England. So is he an international coach or a Jamaican coach? And you'll have those technical folks that will say, yes, Paul Hall played for Jamaica, but he was born in Manchester, England. But for this video in particular, what I'm going to do is break down the international managers that have coached Jamaica and the records that they have garnered in terms of their spell for Jamaica. So without further ado, here we go, and welcome to Reggae Boys Commentary. We go all the way back to 1962. So shortly after Jamaica got independence from England, a Brazilian was hired, and he goes by the name of George Penna. Now, George Penna was described as disciplined, organized, and professional. So, in relation to George Penna, these very words came from Alan Skill Cole, who played for Jamaica during this era. He said that the Jamaican players in this era of time, they couldn't run more than half an hour. But George Penna introduced better nutrition to the team and helped them to run for 90 minutes. He says while talent was there, the fitness and the endurance was lacking. So George Penna laid the foundations for what was to come for Jamaican football. So in his first spell in 1962, George Penna recorded 3 wins, 3 losses, and a draw. But something interesting happened shortly after that. In 1963, Jamaica had a man by the name of Antoine Tassie. Yes, Antoine Tassie from Haiti. Why did they hire Antoine Tassie? Well, there was a lot of rave in the Caribbean as this man from Haiti guided a Haitian club to the 1963 CONCACAF Club Championship, which as we know is now called the CONCACAF Champions League. But back then, CONCACAF Champions Cup. So he won that in 1963. Yes, that is right. But his record in Jamaican colours, not the best. Not the best at all. He recorded 1 win, 8 losses, and 1 draw. Yes, that is right. And you know who was called back to the program? George Penna himself. Yes, George Penna got Jamaica on the cusp of qualifying for the 1966 World Cup in England. George Penna got Jamaica to the final round with Mexico and Costa Rica. And at that time, when it was a 16-team World Cup CONCACAF, they only had 1 World Cup spot. Mexico finished at the top of that 3-team final round, Costa Rica second, and Jamaica third. George Penna's second spell came from 1965 to 1967. And in that spell, he amassed 5 wins, 10 losses, and 6 defeats. Jamaica's next overseas coach show didn't come until almost a decade later, and it was a German in charge, yes, and that was Ottmar Caldo. Yes, Ottmar Caldo came into the fold in 1975, but he didn't last long. There was only 2 games and 2 losses. And guess what? Ottmar Caldo was the last international coach that Jamaica had prior to Rene Simoes. Yes, that is right. Rene Simoes, 1994 to 2000, and also in addition to that, Rene Simoes was in charge in 2008 as well. And when you combine those figures together, well, it leaves something quite interesting. Yes, that is right, as Rene Simoes amassed 55 wins, 37 losses, and 35 draws. Also helped Jamaica to win the Caribbean Cup in 1998 and qualify for, that's right, the 1998 FIFA World Cup in France. Shortly after Rene Simoes, it was Sebastian Lazaroni. But he was just in charge temporarily until Clovis de Oliveira came into the picture in 2001. Clovis de Oliveira didn't have the most successful of spells for Jamaica. Although he got a lot of players that he inherited from the Rene Simoes era, he got Jamaica to the final round, but guess what? Jamaica, at the end of the day, they finished 5th out of 6 teams and missed out on the top 3 to qualify for the World Cup. In the final round, Jamaica only defeated Trinidad and Tobago home and away. They did get draws against the likes of the United States and Honduras at home. However, on the road, against the likes of Honduras, Costa Rica, United States, and Mexico, 4 losses there, and they also lost at home. That's right, they lost at home to Mexico, and that ended Jamaica's 49-game unbeaten run at the National Stadium. 1995 to 2000 run, that run ended. Yeah, quite unfortunate, am I right? Yeah, it is what it is. Sebastian Lazaroni, he came into the picture, didn't he? Sebastian Lazaroni came into the picture in 2004, but it wasn't successful. Drew a lot of games, and guess what? Jamaica didn't make it to the final round of the 2006 FIFA World Cup qualifiers. 1 win, just 1 win in charge. And that came out against El Salvador. Granted, it was Jamaica's first ever win on Central American soil in a World Cup qualifier. Marlon King scoring a brace and Micah Hyde scoring the other. So yeah, I mean, you can give a lot of credit and credence where that is concerned, but to see what they were able to do and everything of that nature, 1 win, 5 draws and 3 losses, unfortunate. Really, really unfortunate that he wasn't able to get the job done. Bora Milutinovic, he came back into the picture 2006 to 2007, and his spell in charge of the national team was about giving youngsters opportunities, youth chances. And he came in and he won a trophy straight away. Yes, he helped Jamaica win the Lunar New Year Cup in 2007. That's right. They went over to China and won the Lunar New Year Cup. And they won both games on penalties. Alan Whitaker, the hero on that occasion. Donovan Davis scoring the winning penalty. Lovell Palmer scoring in the shootout. I know it was tough for Nikolai Finlayson missing his, but it was great seeing the players that got the opportunities on the trip. Donald Stewart was part of that squad. Only 2 overseas players were utilised in Bora Milutinovic's spell. Luton Shelton and Ricardo Bibi Gardner. Dwayne Miller got his opportunity. Dwayne Carr got his opportunity. But Christian Boxhill lost the JFF presidency. In came in Captain Horace Burrell, and Bora Milutinovic was removed, and Rene Simoes came back into the fold. After Rene Simoes' short spell after back-to-back losses to Mexico and Honduras in the World Cup qualifiers, well, John Barnes came into the picture after Theodore Tapper Whitmore finished the qualifiers. So, John Barnes, Jamaican born, but represented England, so we'll include him here. And John Barnes is the only coach that never, ever lost a game for Jamaica. Helped Jamaica win the Caribbean Cup in 2008. His last game in charge was a 3-2 win over Panama at the National Stadium. Yep, that's right. So, after John Barnes, do you know who was the next overseas coach? That man himself, Winfred Schaefer. 14 wins, 21 losses, and 7 draws from 2013 to 2016. Helped Jamaica win the Caribbean Cup in 2014, get to the semi-finals of the Gold Cup, rather the final of the Gold Cup in 2015. Helped Jamaica record a phenomenal victory over Chile in 2016, win 2-1 on South American soil against world number 3 ranked Chile. That in itself speaks volumes about what he was able to do. We know the challenges, the language barrier, and what the team should have been able to achieve, especially with the caliber of players that he got. I certainly think getting to the final round of the 2018 World Cup qualifier should have been done, but it was not done. Coach Whitmore came back into the frame, but you could say the next international coach that came into the mix, Paul Hall. Yep, Paul Hall. And his record, 2 wins, 6 losses and 3 draws in Jamaican colours, helping Jamaica qualify for the 2023 edition of the CONCACAF Gold Cup. And now, in comes Ottmar Caldo. So Reggae Boys fans, what are your thoughts? Who was Jamaica's best international coach? Will Ottmar Caldo replicate what the likes of Winfred Schaefer and Rene Simoes has done? Well, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe to Reggae Boys Commentary for more content. This video is brought to you by Penna Educational Centre, catering to evening CSEC classes and chess classes. Call 876-337-7374 or 876-775-6692. We got you covered preparing for exams. Andy Gone Nuts, 100% guaranteed fresh coconut water delivered straight to your door. Call 876-309-6128. That's 876-309-6128. Refreshing and affordable. For more information, follow them on Instagram at Andy Gone Nuts. Truly refreshing. And Crumble by Mrs. C. Old English fudge and other delectable sweet treats. Call or WhatsApp 876-586-0471. That's 876-586-0471. This video is also brought to you by BLC Jamaica Security Electronics, specializing in alarm system, video surveillance, camera system or CCTV, barrier system, gate automation, and access control. Call 876-320-7711. That's 876-320-7711 or 876-351-1105. That's 876-351-1105.